Oh, hi. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face, my card making space. It's Sunday. On Sundays, we go live at 2 p.m. Central. So, live, unscripted, unfiltered, unprepared, chaos. Should be good. Should be great. Everything's honestly, I have plans. I just got in the weeds yet again leading up to this, getting things ready and ran out of time because my time management skills are top notch. So yeah, hello my friends, and it is just me, no assistance whatsoever. Don't need no man. I posted it in the chat, but for those tuning in just now or later, whatever, the unpaid intern is currently chauffeuring. Is that gonna fit? Yeah, doing some chauffeuring and all the things, so he might get back in time. We shall see. But I also gave him a little grocery list while I was at it. So yeah, that's what he's doing. He's gonna run around and pick up and drop off and blah 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 while I do this. And then he's gonna pick up the last few little ingredients that I need so that I can whip up a monster pot of chili tomorrow is the plan. That is the plan, so that we've got some leftovers. I am currently just digging through my scraps because I'm so very professional and have everything done ahead of time. Ha. Like, yeah. Time management, man. Not my strong suit. And yeah. So yeah, hello to everyone. Yep, it's just me. So we are unsupervised on top of it all. You never know. You never know what will happen. That's nice. Hopefully he will find the things you were asking for. Seems to struggle. Yeah. What I do when it's one thing if I ask for like the same old. We've kind of talked about this because he does a lot of the grocery shopping, thankfully, because we don't live too far from a Costco, which we need. We have a big household, but he puts his headphones on and he gets it. But if I ask for anything that deviates from the normal or the plan, I will get very specific. Like I'll be like, it is located here on this because like until they move things around, I know where everything is. But yeah, so I was like showing pictures and things. I was like, this is what I want. Like this, yeah. And for the most part, 99% of the time, it's decent. Other times, he will come back with, yes, the most random of things. And it's like, what even is, how did you even find this thing that but yeah. And other times, it's just men, they just don't see it right in front of their face. But I can't even really complain that much because the older I'm getting, the worse I am. Like I was just at the grocery store too, and I was on the phone with him and I was like, there's things, and I get home and I'm like, there was like all the things I'm sending him to get today. I was just like totally spaced. So anyway, yep. Pictures, directions, all of it. I'll be like, this is in this aisle, But yeah, a lot of times, but especially food stuff though, he's pretty good because he gets to benefit from it too. So he'll help find the things. So we're good. Anyway, I have a bit of die cutting to do. So yeah. No, another bonus too with him doing the like grocery shopping things is, like I said, he can get in and out. Whereas me, when I do go, I'm like up and down every aisle and I'm looking at things and I'm touching everything. It takes me 10 times longer. I spend 10 times more money because, it's like, ooh, new shiny, whatever. Purchase something we don't need. It's a little ridiculous. So it's kind of nice when he does it because it's like he gets what's on the list and then he'll get, the things that we just replenish milk, bread, etc. And he doesn't come home with like 5 million other things. Although every once in a while, he'll spot something and he's like, I know you like this. And then it's just like, love it so much. Love it so much for me. So anyway. Oh my goodness. Oh, I do that too. Depending on what it is, there are literal times where I will send a screenshot, and if the store has a like in stock thing that, and it'll say like the aisle, especially like the hardware store, a lot of times it'll be like screenshot, and I'll include like it's in aisle this. They have this many in stock. Yeah. Yeah. And then it's just ongoing communication. A lot of times he'll phone me from the store and be like, was this the specific, thing that you wanted? And I'm like, yes, thank you. So, yeah. It's a lot of communication though, So, it works. It works. We've got a system after all these years. We have a system and it mostly works, So, yeah. Okay. So, where am I going with all this? I'm like distracted by ladybugs. Okay. Doodly doo. I made a massive pot of chili today. It'll last the week. That's what I do. I have a big, like a big Dutch oven, a big one. I fill that thing just shy of overflowing when I make chili, and it is a week's worth of food within reason, because of I now have adult children as well that, them and their partners and everyone, I make enough to feed an army because that's where we're at this point. And it's great because chili's easy. Just throw everything in a pot for the most part. Okay. Doodly doo. So yeah, hello to everyone tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Stopping by and hanging out with me during my live streams, especially when I'm like a complete disorganized mess. That's, it is what it is. I try and usually fail to be professional, but it is what it is. And I'm making a big old mess while I do this, but that's okay. Okay. See, that is one thing I haven't done yet is sourdough. I've been very interested. I need to get some sourdough starter is what I need to do. And I haven't made bread or anything like that for many, many years. My issue way back in the day, now we have I've got a mixer with a dough hook, so I could get around that. But for me, it's the kneading. Like, I've talked about this with my crafting. I have borderline carpal tunnel, and I have family genetics for arthritis, like arthritic tendencies, and I'm sure as I get older, so I do everything to mitigate that. And kneading bread, the worst. So painful. I can do it for a little bit, but when you do it over and over again. But now I got a mixer with a dough hook. I need to get back into it because honestly, bread and sourdough, all that kind of stuff's actually really easy to make. It's just time consuming, but it's simple. And cinnamon buns. Oh. But yeah, sourdough, I've never made it, but I need to get some sourdough starter. I should start doing that because yum. Anyway, okay. It does have a learning curve. It's got to be, but there's a bajillion videos, recipes, everything. Because especially when lockdown happened, it was everyone went in a couple of the same directions. It was a lot of us went hardcore into the crafting, the live streams, everything. And then it's everyone and their dog went into making sourdough. Just everyone was making sourdough. It was insane. It was nuts. But yeah, there's a lot. I just haven't got to it. Someday. Yeah, sourdough, I don't think you actually have to knead very much because with the starter and all the things going on, it's your basic, your basic bread recipes and stuff that need kneading and yada yada. So, yeah. Eventually. I would like to explore that, but biggest thing for me, as always, my biggest whine and complaint is enough time. Do I have enough time in the day? No, I never have enough time. I would like more. Wah, wah, wah. Is what it is. Okay. I'm just die cutting some random stuff. I'm going to show you guys. Like, I have a supply list. I've already lost a piece of cardstock. Okay. I have my supply list linked below. Always. I have them like linked below. I have the visual supply list linked below. You just click on it, it'll open in a new window, and it's like, bloop. And then it's also linked at the top. I pinned it to the top of the chat here next to the stream. So supply list is there. I'm just putting my phone, if it'll like answer me. There we go, on Do Not Disturb, because this is the one time my phone decides to do that kind of stuff. And then how do you reference someone that replies to my post? I don't know what you mean. Oh yeah, in the live chat, if you're on anything other than mobile, like mobile and iPads, it doesn't work, which is really annoying. But if you're on a desktop, when you're in the live chat on a live stream on YouTube, you just hit @ and then you start typing out whose ever comment you want to reply to, and their username will pop up. You click on it, and then you type your little comment, and it will highlight their username, so they'll see it. It'll pop up in like orange, I think. That's how you do it. But that only works on when you're on desktop. So if you're watching from a phone or watching from an iPad, that sort of thing, it doesn't let you do that, which I don't know why. It's annoying. It's annoying. It's annoying. Anyway, so supply list is linked. I did do that. And then I'm just doing some die cutting here to get a little bit of stuff out of the way, sort of. Because like I said, time management, man. Time management will always and forever be my nemesis, because that's just how I roll. You know? Again, welcome to unscripted, unfiltered, pure chaos. You know? So, yes, laptop, desktop, same thing. Same thing. It's all good. Yes, as long as it's not mobile. Laptop isn't, well, laptop can be mobile, but we're splitting hairs. We're splitting hairs when we start getting into that. But yeah, that's how the comments work within reason, until YouTube goes and changes something, because they do that a lot. You know, I try to keep up. You know, doing this as a job gets very interesting sometimes, because it's not like anyone gets, like, as a maker on YouTube, like a content creator. It's not like I'm just flying by the seat of my pants with everything, and it's like they'll change everything, and I'll be like, I don't even know how any of this works. I don't know what I'm doing here. You know, it's fun. It's so fun. So anyway, yeah, there we go. Anyway, okay, so I have my supply list linked. I posted a video yesterday that went up. Well, making sure I'm not actually losing the die cuts I want to use. I posted a video yesterday. I'm using more of the waffle flower. Oh, that'll fit. I love when that happens. It just fits around. The waffle flower December release, because as usual, it is fabulous and I loves it. And yeah, there was more postage collage goodness in this release, and oh, it makes me happy. So in the supply list and linked below the video, I also put links to the like postage collage category. that Waffle Flower has, because it has been now over 2 years since they released the first OG little postage collage die set, and then a few stencils and what have you. And yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. And I do have I'm not sure how many videos yet. It's well over a dozen. I think it's over 20. I linked to my playlist in the description box below the video as well. And then when this live is over, I'll put it in the end screen at the very end. So I have a playlist that I will continue to add to of videos I've done using the Waffle Flower Postage Collage products. And I love them. I love them so much because they're just fabulous. So I did the video yesterday using the, I'll show the card in a second, using the larger stencil set that came out. And I said in that video, I was like, I'm going to be using the actual Postage Collage stencil set. That's what we're going to use today. So love it so much. And I'm using several other things as well, and we will get into it. I wanted to get some of this die cutting while I just yapped at you guys, and also while my brain warms up. Because, I'm a super professional, expert at this, and I've been doing this for so long, but every time I go live, every time, the minute it goes like live on my software, my brain just goes, love it. Love it. Love it so much. It's so great. So yeah, we can talk for a bit, and then my brain starts warming up, and it's just like, oh yeah, muscle memory kind of is what we got going, and it gets a little better. So that's what I'm doing. I can yap at you guys for a little bit, figure out what I'm doing with my life within reason, and then yeah, okay. I have my few little extra die cuts. I've got this one, and then I need these two. Okay. Let me. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll explain this. Yes, Mary. Just make sure. If I use your link today but purchase something else that's not on your supply list, will you still get credit? Yes. That I use affiliate links. That is the bread and butter for most content creators, especially in specifically like card making. In the scheme of it all, of makers or just content creators, specifically on YouTube, it varies, but there's kind of three ways. Three to four ways that we generate income. With card making, big one is affiliate links. And all affiliate links is those of us, we're signed up for a little program with the different brands, so like Waffle Flower, Simon Says Stamp, etc., etc., etc. And the program enables us to put little affiliates with our links, with our supply lists, etc. And those links are little cookies. So when you click on it, it tracks that click. And then if you order, whose ever affiliate link you clicked on, doesn't matter whose it is, whoever you want to support, whose ever link was clicked last gets the credit for the order. And it does not matter what you ordered. That doesn't always apply to outside the card making industry. I think with certain types of links or whatever, it has to be like the specific thing. But with card making, you could click on a link for ink, and you click on that and you're just like adding things to your cart, and then you're like, I already have this, delete that from your cart, and you order 5 other products, you close out your order, you pay for it, I will still get credit for that order regardless, because my link is what brought you there. So, and it does not cost anything extra. They don't add any hidden charges. There's nothing like that, because I wouldn't participate if that was the case. So there's no extra fees, nothing like that. And yeah, so that's one of the ways. The other ways we get paid is we make a minuscule percentage off of the ads that play on videos, which for my lives, I have ads pretty much shut off during the live because it was getting to be absolutely insane. Because again, YouTube does what they want. The algorithms doesn't matter. I kept choosing like moderate, like the least amount possible. Stop spamming people with ads every 2 minutes. And they're just like, what? You mean more ads? People want to watch ads every 20 seconds. So for my live streams, I have them pretty much shut off. After the live is over, after it's processed, I go back in. Because even though I choose moderate, to YouTube and the algorithms, that means like every 2 minutes. And I'm not even exaggerating. There are sometimes after my live is over and it's processed, because sometimes that takes a while because my lives get long. There are times where there's like 70 plus ads on a live. That is insane. I don't like that. And I will delete more than like 75% of them. Yeah, I make less money off that, but that's annoying. So there's that. And then there's some brands also pay us in exchange for like promoting, those sorts of things. So that's another way we can make a bit of money. And then there are sponsorships that generally gets into more like other brands or, the like HelloFresh, etc. Not sponsored. I would love to be, that kind of stuff. But makers can get paid that way too, doing those types of sponsorships. I've never really said yes to any other than that beauty. My first beauty guru live I did. That wasn't really a sponsorship. That was just some free skincare. But that's how it works. And then, yes, if people that run ad blockers and people that run VPNs, those nullify all of it. All my links. So I get zero affiliate income, which I'm just explaining it because I've had people over the years off and on. They're like, none of your links are working for me, et cetera, et cetera. 99% of the time, it's because of an ad blocker or a VPN service. Sometimes they're broken and I have to fix them. But quite often it's because people are running ad blockers, which I get it. So I'm not gonna, but that does nullify things and it sucks for makers. Those of us that, we kind of rely on it, but it is. So that I hope explains how it all works. And then always, gotta be upfront about all the things. And that's why I've got disclaimers and I put it at the top of my website and, like this is, these are affiliate links, #afflink, all of it. So, okay. Yeah, the ads in the chat. I know. The whole like ads in the chat thing, that's another little like new feature. I don't know yet if I have no option to shut that off. I would if I could. Like, I don't enable that. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. So it is a constant fight between, yeah, all of the things. It just is nuts, So anyway, okay. Yeah. And those that don't, all of that to say, affiliate links and ads and all of that. Even if you are not shopping at all, you've got a craft stash, you're not shopping, whatever the reasons are, that's fine. Another way to support your favorite makers, the whole like thumbs upping, leaving comments, huge. Seriously. Especially like comments, sharing, that kind of stuff. Massive. The algorithms see that as engagement. The more engagement there is, the more they push out the video, the post, the photo, whatever. That helps. Like, I can't even quantify how much that helps people. So it's like, yeah, if you're not shopping and using affiliate link, anything like that, hitting thumbs up, leaving comments, just taking that time to do it, I appreciate it. And I know all the other makers do as well. It does help. So those are the ways. Those are the ways. Okay. Doodly doo. Yeah, and then YouTube Premium. I get all us makers get a if we're on the AdSense program, we do get a little cut of YouTube Premium. So people that pay for that, so you don't have to see ads, don't blame you at all. Like seriously, it's ridiculous how it's going. That it helps. Full stop, man. It just helps. So I hope that explains all the things. And yes, exactly, Zan. We do get some little cut. I don't know. When it comes to like the breakdown of all of it, I don't even know. You know, as long as I'm able to pay all my bills and save up some monies and all those things, I'm happy. So yeah, let me do. I gotta die cut a couple more things. One more thing before we actually. Two more things before we actually get to the makes. So, oh, thank you, Zon. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Those always help too. Totally unnecessary. Just okay. But yeah, I do appreciate them. I didn't prep a card base. I didn't do nothing. Y'all, I'm all over the place. But yeah, those are the ways. Most card makers, that's how it works. You know, it'll vary across. So I only speak for myself always. I don't speak for anyone else. I don't speak for. I know I'm getting a little nitpicky, but to me, it's important personally. I don't speak for other makers, and I don't speak for the brands. I am freelance. Like it's just me wearing my professional card, my card making YouTuber, whatever you want to call me, hat. Yeah, and that's how it works for me. It applies to a lot of the others, but yeah. So yeah. Welcome to the chaos. Welcome to Amy being unprepared as always, and just flying by the seat of her pants. I am kind of, when I show you guys my desk, it's not going to be surprising because I'm doing things, okay? And it's just me. And even though the unpaid intern's not here, it's not like I'm like keeps me in check, One, he knows better, but also, yeah, like he's just the observer of the chaos. Really, that's how that works. Like just full on insanity. Yeah. Oh, and yes, that for me, that is the other thing. So Rochelle, you remind me. Thank you. There are several other, I think, card makers that also have them. I have a Patreon page as well. That is another way to support. I don't advertise it a whole lot. Because it originally started as an offshoot of other things I was doing many, many years ago. I had this super supportive community, and when Patreon started, they started requesting that, and I was like, okay, so it's still my Patreon's still a work in progress. So that one also helps. It's always linked. It's linked all over the place on my socials, on my website, whatever. So yeah, there is Patreon as well. That's another way to support a lot of makers and creatives and stuff like that. So that one helps. And then lastly, I don't do memberships. That is another option here on YouTube is memberships. I haven't done that because it's like just another thing. If I can find a way to if I could find a way to make it so that like if I did memberships and that my Patreon members could also access that. That's the only thing I'm not sure of. Because especially my Patreon members, I don't want to provide something like to YouTube members if people were going to pay that my Patreons couldn't. I haven't figured that out yet. If I can figure out how to do that, then I would do that as well. It's a lot. Thank you, Fern, for the super chat. I was missing something. Is it true that YouTube doesn't take a cut of the super chats when it's under a certain amount? Is it more helpful to give? I don't think it matters. I think YouTube takes their cut regardless. I'm so professional. You know, I know all the answers. Some of it, you got the back end sometimes is insane. It's insane. Like, it's insane. So, yeah, they do that. But yeah, they take a cut, but it all adds up. It adds up because the super chats get bundled in with the AdSense revenue. And just at the end of the month, I get a little payout, and it's just, it helps. It helps, and I appreciate it. That's all that matters to me. That's all. That's literally all that matters to me. Okay, one last die cut, and then I'm actually going to show you guys. We're gonna get into it. Okay, we're actually gonna make some things. So unfair. If you mean about YouTube taking percentage, well, they're the ones providing the platform and the ease of doing it. You know, I get it, because especially someone who does this super professionally. I'm so professional, but it's like when you start understanding like software and all the things, it's like anything that makes life a little more simple is, there's always a fee. There's always a fee, you know, and it's just, so I just see that as just a fee that I have to cover, you know. I get it. So if you use Apple Pay, I would avoid using Apple Pay. I would avoid using, oh, that thing too. I have this, just FYI, specifically Patreon, because this one is one I know for sure, but this probably applies to other things as well. I put this at the top of my Patreon tiers when people sign up, that if they're going to sign up, to not do it in the app on like the App Store, to go directly to the Patreon website. Because if you do it, Apple charges more. They instituted that at whatever point. I'm not sure when. And I was just like, yeah, no. You're not charging, like, you're not, and it's a lot. It's, again, it's like 30% or something. It's an insane amount. And I'm like, no, just no. So I put a disclaimer at the top of all of them telling people how to do it to avoid that. Because I was like, you should not be charged extra. Stop it. So, yeah. All the things. Okay. Yeah, there's always fees. Okay. Doodly. I think we're good. Let me grab one more thing, because I put it away and I need that actually. Is this one? Yeah. Okay. Let's get into making. Now that Amy has yapped for half an hour, it is what it is. Let's go down to the mess. Okay. So, postage collage. This is my OG, the OG postage collage die set, the A2 size, and dupe. So, there are many sizes that Waffle Flower has done since the A2 size. We've got A7, slimline, mini slimline, A6, like many. This is the OG, and this is the one I use 99% of the time because I prefer A2 sized cards. And it die cuts that. And you got your little stitching detail. So that's just the basic. And the other thing I link to this because this is what I do, is when I've die cut, let me get my big, because I do this over my trash. The little holes stick in, and I remove these because it can build up over time if you don't pop that out. And also my OCD, I can't leave pieces in my dies, but especially one that I'm going to use over and over and over again. I need to clean it out because if it gets too filled in, it's not going to cut. and that's annoying. So all I do is I usually hold this over the garbage. I'll either thwack it, you know, and some of them will start popping out, or I take my little Spellbinders 2-in-1 with the bristlies and I just roll them and it pops. And that's why I do this generally over my trash and just doop, 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 get rid of all the pieces. And depending on what I'm doing, which I'm obviously not going to do today, a lot of times I will just die cut a bunch of these over and over and over again, you know, especially when I'm having a day, having a moment where I have no creativity or whatever. I'll die cut a bunch of these so I just have a stack of them and I keep it with the die set, because then I use this over and over and over again. Like, I've done a bunch of videos. So, and I thought I had a bunch and I actually didn't, because right before I went live, I was like, oh, and I reach into my bag and I'm like, the one time, which is fine. But anyway, that's the OG Postage Collage die set. And yeah, I use, why? Oh yeah, that goes with something else. Anyway, so that is how I used it. YouTube show my year in review. You're my top 5 most watched channels. I love it. People have been posting that and tagging. If you go to, it's youtube.com/ I think review. Anyone who puts that in when you're signed into your YouTube account, and it'll show you like your year in review. And yeah, people have been like tagging me, like taking screenshots and tagging me and saying like, there was a couple of them that were like, I was their most watched channel, which I was like, that's amazing. It's amazing. I was like, I love it. I love it. So I appreciate it. I appreciate all y'all. Like, it's kind of bizarre to me at times. Like, you like me. You really like me, you know? Oh, poor Sally Field. Anyway, so yeah, OG dirt. And then I linked to them. This is not even the entire postage collage, because again, this has been over 2 years. I'm not sure, 3 years. I forget how long. I would have to go back to my first video. It's however old. Someone can tell me if they're looking. This is some of the postage collage. There's a bunch more. I just haven't organized. But I'm going to have to do a second mesh bag. That's how I keep mine, is I keep it all in here. So the die set, all the stamp sets, all like the stencils, because there's a bajillion of them. All the things. And I'm going to have to do a second mesh bag. I think I'm going to have one with just the dies, one with just the stencils, one with the stamps, because there's a bunch of stamps. Because we've got time. I'll get into it. Do I even have one in here to show? Probably not. I don't even have, whatever. It's in I linked, like I said, to the Postage Collage collection. So the A2 size was the OG. All of the coordinating stencil sets, the one I'm using today, are all sized for this set, because this has been the most popular, and especially in card making, A2 size is the most popular. And then because there was a lot of requests, they did more sizes. And I forget when these came out. I did a video on them whenever it was. So there's the like mini slimline. There's I think this is A6. Yes, there's A6. There's slimline. There's A7. And so they did, these die sets. And then there's some basic stencils, like just basic block stencils for each. And then basic like block wafer dies as well, which I'll get into that in a second. So they did those. And then I've heard a lot of people going on about like, well, there's no coordinating stencil sets for these, like there is. My assumption, because I don't speak for the brands, but my assumption is there is not enough demand to make it financially feasible to do a whole bunch of coordinating stencils in these other sizes, because they're just not as popular. But to get around that, Waffle Flower then started doing a bunch of stamp sets that will work. And they're all silhouette type images, which I didn't grab any, but I have a stack. I'll get to it. Um, here's a couple of them. I don't have links. These are just, but this is what I'm talking about. I haven't even used this. This one sold out like right after it was released. I was like, come on, you guys. You're not even getting a chance. Anyway, silhouette images. So this is the Mush Love, obviously. So these will work with anything, really. They don't even have, you don't even have to use these. It's silhouette images. They work with anything. But the idea is that you can use these with any of the sizes. You know, you can block it off with the little stencil. You can die cut it. And then there are the stencils. So you can die cut it. And then you can use the block stencil to mask off the center areas and then stamp your silhouette images, you know, all of that. And there's a lot. They have done many. So that was the Mush Love. This one was the Autumn Sunset. There's cats, there's dogs, there's tons and tons and tons. So many options. Fabulous. So whatever floats your boat, really. And they continue to come up with new things and new ways and all the things. And I need to use, I've used the 5x7. I don't even think I've used any of these smaller ones. I should. It's on the list. It's on the list, y'all. Okay. They'll be updating the Postage Collage checklist in April on the 3-year anniversary. So it's been 2.5 years. Thank you, Lisa. There we go. They will update it. They're in the link I posted of the it's like the second link, something like that, in the supply list. I posted it. It just says Postage Collage Collection or something like that. In there, because there's like pages of all the products. There's one that says checklists. Because Waffle Flower did that up quite some time ago so that people can keep better track. They're free. You just print them off. They're free. You can print them off and check which ones you have. You know, make a wish list, yada, yada, yada. Because again, there's a lot. And this is only some of it. I need to like do a full-on organizational deep clean. Because when I was just making my links for today, I was like, I know this one product. I'm not even sure if I have it. So I need to like, and I was like, I'm not sure where this one is. Well, I was like, oh my God, I have so much work to do. So I hope that explains most of it in a nutshell. There's a lot of options is what I'm saying. And that's awesome. And then the other thing too, is you can just use these however you want. Like you don't have to use the Waffle Flower stencils or the stamps or whatever. You can use whatever you've got, you know, and just at the very bare minimum, you could have just like this, the die set and then the block stencil to like mask off the center areas. And then the world's your oyster because we got stamps and dies and whatever. They all work. So yeah. Doodly doo. So yeah. And then yeah, Waffle will update it and that'll be awesome. And then I missed something. Oh, hello, Mari. Hello. And yeah, okay. So that's all of it in a nutshell, explained as best as I can. So I die cut it from white cardstock. This is actually going to be my kind of sort of background. This will all make sense in a minute, hopefully, because my plan is I want to do Neenah Desert Storm, aka Craft, because I love craft cardstock. I love it so much. I love the look of it. I love how inks look on it. I love it. I love it, man. So what I did, or what I plan to do, there we go. Postage Collage Peony stencil. This is the new one. This is the one that just came out in the December release. Oh, and the video I posted yesterday. This is the card I made. I posted this video yesterday. So I was using the nested postage collage set, which is a big wafer die. I explained it all in that video. Went up yesterday. It's on my website, everything. But yeah, I used the Peony stencil for that one. And then it's glittery and highlights ladybugs, which we're going to use again because I love ladybugs. I love ladybugs. They're amazing. They're adorable. So that was the card and video I posted yesterday. Today, we're going with this one. And I have piles of product just everywhere. I have a mess going on. No one should be surprised. And doodly do. Do. I spent this morning die cutting pattern Christmas paper with the A2 Postage Collage Die. I saw someone do that on YouTube. Ooh, that's fun. Fun. Yes. 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 Okay. Okay. Let's breathe, Amy. Grip mat. So normally, pretty much I think every previous video I've done, specifically using the Postage Collage, I die cut this first, and then I stencil on it. To me, that just makes the most sense. Because it's just easier for me too, because I can line up. Because there's all the etching details. Like Waffle Flower does this. A lot of the brands do it. I talk about the etching details a lot. I love it because it helps. Instead of just having just openings, you know, the brands will include etching details to give guides of where to line things up. And they'll include, like Waffle Flower does this a lot. I don't think they have it on this specific set. Oh yeah, they have like background, and it'll say like light, medium, dark, or it'll point out an area. It'll be like nose, you know, whatever it is. So for me, I usually die cut first and then I line it up because I just find it's easier to line up like the etching detail with the little like pierced perimeter, etc. You know, it makes more sense to me. And that's just how it works. But again, just because I show something some way or another maker shows it one way, yada, 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 it is just paper, stencils, ink, stamps, whatever. Do whatever works for you. It's not like you're doing it wrong. I still need to get Kathy Zielski to send me that. It's her own voice clip, but every time she presses that button, it's like, you're doing it wrong. I'm like, I need that. I don't want it in my voice. I want it in hers because it's perfection. And I was like, I need that button, you know, like the easy button or whatever. It's like, you're doing it wrong. Anyway, you're not. It's just is. So yeah, we got leaves, light, medium, dark, and the background. Okay. Yep. And a grip mat. Boop. So, doodly doo. I got a grip mat, which mine is a little bit cruddly from the last project, but not the end of the world. Let me move this over a smidge. Because I'm going to not use this yet. I'm not stenciling on this. I'm just going to stencil onto a piece of Desert Storm. Because I like Desert Storm. I love the craft. I love the smooth finish. It is my favorite craft cardstock. Like Neenah Desert Storm. I have both the 100. This is the 100 pound that I'm using. And I also have the 80 pound. 80 pound is great for like layers and stuff. But the 100 pound is what I use for card bases. For everything. And I cut this A2 size. So it's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. Which just makes it easier because I can line it up with this etch line, the outer one, so that I can line these up. And that will come in handy when it's time. This will hopefully all make sense. Yeah. So I got that. And there's the background. And for it, we're going to use Oxide inks because I love oxides on craft. Full stop. You know, my favorite. So that's what I'm going to use. So I need to grab my blending brushes. Do I want to use the big one? I'll just use the little one. We'll just use the little ones. It'll work. You can technically use any inks on craft cardstock. The thing to remember is that dye inks are transparent, and lighter colors will not show up very well on darker card bases. So light pinks, light yellows, the list goes on. Any light color is not going to show up because they're dye based and they're transparent. Darker colors will show up. However, they will look different because they don't have that white cardstock base. I'm not like, it's not wrong, you know. Just depends on what look you're going for. Oxide inks have pigments in them. So those pigments make them opaque. It sits on top of the cardstock. And yeah, so a regular pigment ink will work as well. However, I don't work with pigment inks much other than a white pigment ink, you know, a go-to, and then like some metallics. Those are my things, but I prefer, if I'm going to use like a pigment style ink, oxides. That's what I have. I have them all. I have them all. I'm going to use them. Okay. Doodly-doo. Hardly use craft cardstock, but I did use it for the Postage Collage Gingerbread Stencil. I haven't even used that one yet. It's one of my favorites. I love it. I did the poinsettia, you know, a couple weeks ago. And yeah, there's just something about oxide inks on top of craft. And generally, I already probably messed that up. Good job, Amy. Generally, with oxides and just pigment inks in general, I prefer foam, like the Ranger foam blending brushes and stuff, or blending foams, because pigments do better that way. Because when you're using a foam, it just seems to disperse it. But when I'm working over stencils, I still prefer brushes. So when I'm doing stuff like this and using a stencil with oxides, I keep a separate set of blending brushes for my oxides. I do not use any of these brushes with my dye inks in any way, shape, or form. I don't recommend it. The manufacturers don't recommend it. The reason being is like this brush, if I was to start swirling it into a dye ink pad, like a regular Distress ink, all my other dye inks, the pigments in it could start transferring to those other ink pads, and over time can ruin that ink pad. So I just have a separate set. It's just easier for me. There are many makers out there that just keep one set of brushes and they just wipe it on a cloth, or they take the time to wash them. Whatever, again, whatever floats your boat. Whatever floats your boat. I don't wash my brushes. I don't have the time for that. They take days to dry, and I am way too lazy. So I just keep a separate set of brushes. It just works for me. Okay. Okay. There we go. Tried using foam tools for my oxides, and yeah, that's why I don't like with stencils. I prefer brushes because the foams, especially some, it depends on the stencil, etc. But yeah, the foam can get like caught on the stencil bits, and I'm just like, nope, not gonna do it. So I just prefer brushes. It just works. It just works, honestly. And the other thing, when I'm done this, when using oxides on stencils, it's a lot. Like yeah, I did make a mess. That's going to be fine. We're adding splatter. Who cares? When I'm done these, I take this to the sink because, you know, all those pigments, it's just a lot. And it can like immediately gunk up all my towels and all of that when I'm like, there's going to be multiple stencils, whole bunch of ink, all the things. So when I'm done with specifically oxides, all my dye inks, I just spray the stencil with alcohol. Do not use alcohol on your mats or your stamps. But I spray my stencils with alcohol and clean them. But when I'm using oxides, I rinse it off in the sink first. It's easier, faster, and I don't have a mess to deal with. Hopefully that all makes sense. Okay, let's start setting these aside. So that was the first layer. I made a mess. Don't really care. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. And really, once the first layer is down, everything else just kind of quickly lines up so easily. There we go. Making sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so then we're getting into, we're gonna do worn lipstick. I was in a very pink mood. There we go. For today's color combo. Doodly doo. How do you store your Oxide? I have little brush holders from, is it Make It by Marco? I think that was the brand. Let me, I can show, because I don't have a link. I should have done a link. I always forget. By Marco. Etsy. Yep. I have these. This is what I have. Not affiliated. I don't think Etsy does affiliate links, but I have these little caddies, and the brand is, and this isn't Canadian, but they're in the US. That's the who makes them. Make It by Marco. So yeah, that's, I got these forever ago. And yeah, they hold all of my Simon brushes, because that's what I have for Oxides, is the Simon brand brushes. And yeah, they work great. So I keep a separate, and I have them in different, because they come in different colors. So I have different color brush holders for the different types of ink. So my Oxide is a white brush holder. My dye-based ink is a clear brush holder. Keeping things, so that it all just kind of makes sense. You can kind of tell when you're using your brushes, like what you can kind of tell if you're paying attention. But a lot of times I'm not paying attention. I'm just grabbing things at random. So having little like kind of color cues to myself is how I'm able to, worn lipstick, see what I'm doing, so I'm grabbing the right thing. Usually it's not too bad, but every once in a while I'm like, reaching for things and not paying attention. I'm like, why does this look funny? Why is this? And I'm like, wrong brush, doofy. You weren't paying attention. So yeah. Doodly doo. Doo. Yeah. Yeah. There's several really creative people online that do like 3D printing specifically for our supplies, our tools, things like that. And I love it. I've gotten the Make It by Marco ones. I've looked at some by another maker, and I forget their name off the top of my head. And then I have things like, another thing I do, I didn't link to these, but you can find them on the Waffle Flower, and other brands carry them too. Like Simon Says Stamp carries these. I love these. They come in a set of 2. These are by Waffle Flower. It even has their little, and these are silicone. And they're actually meant, like the bottom of mine are dirty, but they've got the little things. They're meant to fit in. Waffle Flower has a silicone like watercolor mat. I did a video on that forever ago. I need to pull it out and use it more. Anyway, I have a bunch of these. I've ordered multiples of these because I store all of my little Waffle Flower rainbow brushes. I keep them stored in these. I purchased extras of these. But I use these with my dye inks. So I'm not going to put oxides in these. And because I already have a set dedicated to oxides, because I really like these brushes, and I was like, should I get more? I have so many brushes. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So I like these a lot. And they have the little scallop, but the scallop's also nice because you can like balance your brushes on them. So literally I have like 8 of them or something. Like I use these a lot, and I like, oh, and these also fit on the IKEA photo ledge shelves. There's a specific name of them because, you know, IKEA and all the names, I forget. They're not, I forget. They have a funny name, but the picture ledge shelves, these fit perfectly on that. Like they're meant to be. It's so satisfying. It's so satisfying. So anyway, that's what I do. That's what I do. Okay. I think I've caught up with all the things. Jessica crafting with craft too. You inspired me. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad I was influenced you. Does Simon ever put their brushes on sale? They were. I had posted and talked about that in my last live. They were. They do go on sale every once in a while. They had a really good deal going on, and I don't think they're on sale anymore, but they'll go back on sale. It'll happen again. Let me just double check to make sure I'm not lying, but I don't think they're on sale anymore. Dupe. Yeah, they're not there. They're not there, but they'll probably do it again. They're worth it. I have purchased extra sets. Back when these were like my first set of like blending brushes, I purchased extras because I had a set for oxides, a set for regulars, etc. So yeah. Yeah. I things like that, especially when it's a good sale, I always try to give people a heads up. I'll post it on my YouTube channel page. I'll post it on my Facebook because my sale category on my website. In fact, that's what I was working on earlier, was just cleaning it up from all the Black Friday everything. But yeah, when I spot like a good deal on like, you know, those are I give everybody a heads up. It's like, yo, look at this price. Now's the time. Or, you know, this is when I stock up. Wow. Those sorts of things. 100%. Okay. And yes, inkstand. I didn't link. I have them. These are from Brienne. The inkstand. Simon Says Stamp sells them. I've purchased many of these. Love them. These are like the OG ones. And I have a stack of them. I love them. Brienne is lovely, and she makes these, and they are awesome. So they're all different sizes. She's got them to fit regular, rectangular ink pads. She's got them to fit oxides. She has them to fit the fresh dye, the Altenews fresh dye inks, the circulars. Like there's a bunch of options. There's a bunch. I have them for the distress. I bought 4 of them. I have 4 of them for the Altenew fresh dye inks because they're in sets of 4. So I got 4 of the inkstands. And then I have rectangle ones and square ones. And then she's got them in black now too, which I'm like, I do like, because like mine are getting a little, you know, but options, man. So yes, and they just like that, and they got little feet on them so they don't slide. They're great. They are great. So, because I saw a comment earlier, it's like, you need to get an inkstand. It's like, oh yeah, I got some. I have a whole basket full of them that I have purchased over the years because I love them. They're great. Like, they're great. And the only reason mine are a little bit weird, when I first bought these years ago, I forget when Brienne did these. I'd shown them in a video, and then Brienne messaged me because I just purchased mine from Simon Says Stamp. But she messaged me and she was like, "Why are you having trouble? Like your ink pads aren't going like in properly." And she was concerned, and I was like, "Oh no, like they're fine. These are great." I have little color swatches stuck to the sides that I did these years ago with little glue dots so they stick out. So I was like, that is what's sticking and makes it. I was like, you did good. These work great. I thought it was really sweet of her to, like, you know, I would have done the same thing. So no, ink stands are awesome. Brienne is great. Highly recommend. They are very convenient. Okay, so we did the first layer. That was Worn Lipstick. Now we're going in with Festive Berries. Lining everything up. This is gonna be a very chatty. I have a hard time with the Simon Waffle, but both which turn hard for me. Don't work as well. It's the ink you're using. Certain inks turn hard in brushes after a while. It's not the brushes. Because again, I have been using these brushes since they first released them. The only brushes I've had go hard are certain brushes that I've used with certain inks. But all of my, like, again, I've had these brushes for years. None of them are hard. None of them are crusty or crispy or anything. But I use the dye ones with just Simon Positively Saturated, Concord and Ninth, and Altenews Fresh Dye inks, and they don't go crispy. It depends on the type of ink, so it's not generally the brush. Try spraying a little cleaner microfiber cloth. Yada yada yada. Do you design a brush for each color family? Yeah. Red brush for reds, pink brush for pinks, yellow brush for yellows, green for greens, blue for blues, and then just a microfiber cloth. I just go like that. I don't wash my brushes. I don't have a brush for every color. I would love to. I would love to. In a perfect world, I would love to have like a blending brush for every single color. But I don't have the budget for that. And I don't have the space for it. But, you know, if I had a crafty sugar daddy that just wanted to bless me with an unlimited crafting budget in exchange for my winning personality, that's about, you know, that's about all I can offer. I'd have a brush for every color. It would be so good. It'd be so good, but you don't need one. You don't need one. Anyway, Festive Berries. Let's get this. Let's get this going. Gonna go in with this. Doop doop doop. I like Gina's suggestion of spraying a little alcohol on a paper towel or a rag. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Like, I just rub on a microfiber cloth. I just rub my brushes, and once the cloth gets really gunky, I add it to a pile because I have a bunch of them. And I have a bunch of like cotton tea towels, all the things that I keep just for crafting. And when they're full of ink, because I wipe my watercolor brushes, you know, on them, my blending brushes, stencils, all of it. I have separate towels for everything. And then when the pile, which I can see in the corner of my eye, gets big enough, I do a load in the washing machine separate from everything else because I don't want to get all this ink all over our clothes, you know, that sort of thing. But you can spray a little bit of alcohol if, you know, especially if you say you have a brush that's like you were using on a really dark red and then you want to use a really pale color. Because I've shown that in videos where it's like you think the brush is clean, it ain't. Yeah, you can spray with a little bit of alcohol or water and like try to clean it that way. Go easy on the alcohol. I just use, you know, your basic like 70% and up isopropyl. And I cannot stress this clear. You do not use alcohol on like your grip mats. Any photopolymer, alcohol will like eat it over time. It'll start getting gummy. So, and that applies because these are made as the same product as your stamps, photopolymer stamps, and same with red rubber stamps. Don't use alcohol on it. It will wreck them over time. If you've done it once or, you know, you've done it in the past, it's not the end of the world. But stencils, all glass, plastic, fine with alcohol. Blending brushes, if you spray and do it this way, that's fine. You just don't want to get a bunch of alcohol in the base of your brushes because it's glued. And alcohol over time will eat away at that glue. And then you could have the bristles would start coming out. So that's why but like spraying it here and would be fine. It would be fine. It would be fine. It should be fine. but I just say it so everyone's aware. Have you tried the rainbow splash brushes? Are they the same as Simon's? Yes. They're basically the same thing. Because the rainbow splash line is by Simon Says Stamp, and they just buy things in like bulk to bring the prices down. I have a few rainbow splash brushes. I don't have very many, but yeah, they're great. And they're a good affordable option because they're a bit cheaper than, because all the other ones, you know, are color coded and that costs more. Yeah. Yeah. Doodly doodly doo. And yes, I have the waffle flower brushes. Only reason I'm not using them is because I'm using oxides. Because all of my waffle flower brushes I have used with dye inks. Because I have the regular ones. I have the big, huge. I did a video on these. Love. But all of them, all of my and then the little ones, all of them I've shown I have used with dye inks. So these do not touch the pigments because I don't want them getting contaminated. Okay, hopefully that explains all the things. Doodly doo. Burp. So that's layer 2. Then we go in with our third layer, which is going to add the darkest. And I need to line them up. Yes. Yes. Make sure we got our clearance. If y'all want a great ink color, Rainbow Splash Buttercream, yes. Yep. I love Rainbow Splash Buttercream. The Rainbow Splash inks are great. They're great. Does anyone know why Waffle Flower named their company? Just curious since it's very different. Honestly, I don't know. I should ask Neenah that. It's probably out there somewhere. Neenah's the owner of Waffle Flower. Love her. She's a gem. Super smart, super nice human. And she puts up with my shenanigans. That is always a bonus in this industry. Any brand that's like willing to work with me in my chaos. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm sure she's explained it. And I can't, I just can't recall. But yeah, I've been a fan of Waffle Flower for many years. I've purchased a lot of their stuff. And then when Neenah started reaching out to me, like asking me if I wanted to like design or if she could send me product, I was like, yes, please. So yeah, love it. And then she's just expanded over the years into all these different things and yeah, brushes and grip mats and swatches, all the swatch products. Did a video on that back in September because they overhauled their swatching products and I did so much swatch. I have so much more to do, but it's nice. It makes me feel accomplished, and I refer to my swatches a lot, like a lot. I need to do more swatches because I've got so many inks and cardstocks and all the things. Do. I got my mom the whole line of Rainbow Splash inks because she's wanting to get into card making. That's exactly why they started the Rainbow Splash line. It was just a way to keep things a little more basic, a little more simple, and a little more affordable for people just starting, for people wanting just like a basic rainbow, for people, you know, just dipping their toes into card making. And yeah, it's great. The inks are great because it's the same formula as the positively saturated inks. And yeah, I use them quite often. I keep them with the positively saturated inks. They all work the same. Okay. This is Lumberjack Plaid and I'm not blending it super heavy. Like I could, but I'm just not. And then it'll be so beautiful. I love peonies so much. Those that have watched my lives on the regular know, because in the summer I show, because I cut them and I bring them in and show you guys, because I have peonies during the summer in front of my house that I have established that are now 5-ish, 4 or 5 years. I forget how many years. Like they're established, and I get peonies the size of dinner plates on the one bush, especially because I've got 3 technically. One is like a mix of 2 anyway, and they're the standard peony color, like that really deep pink. And yeah, I can get peonies that are like this. They're so big that I have to start putting like the cages around them, because they get so heavy. Love it. I love it so much. So I've been planting more peonies because I love them so much, and I don't have much of a green thumb. I have very basic knowledge when it comes to that kind of stuff, because it requires time and effort and research and zones and soil types, all the things. And I'm just like, no, tired, don't have it. But what I know of peonies is, because they're tubers, you need to plant them. They need well-drained soil, and they need to just sit. They take years to fully, grow and get big, and you're not supposed to move them and all the things. So I have planted several more. So I've got my basic pink ones, and then I planted a pink and white one in the front. It's starting to get there. I have a pink or white and yellow one that I planted in the back that's bloomed a couple times. And then I talked about it in the previous video yesterday. A couple years ago, I got my hands on, it's called a scrumdiddlyumptious peony. And I planted it in the back, and it's a peach. It's it's harder to get up here, but it's hybridized to survive Saskatchewan winters, because I'm in Saskatchewan, for those that aren't aware. It gets cold here. Like, it gets into the minus 40s, into the minus 50s at times. Like, our zone gets cold. But I splurged on that peony. It's come back now. This past summer was its 2nd year, I think. And I got a couple little blooms on it. And in fact, I might be able to show you guys. I think I took a photo of it. I'm positive I did. I would just have to scroll back. Collections, people. No. Search. No. Just want to make sure, because I've got photos I'm not gonna. Flowers. There we go. Yes. Okay. There's my yellow and white peony. Is that not like just... And it's got a bit of pink. And I got that at Costco. Love it so much. And then there's my scrumdiddlyumptious peony, which doesn't look as peachy, but it is utterly gorgeous. Utterly gorgeous. And then, yeah, my pink and white one again. There's one of my big ones in the front that's literally like the size of a dinner plate. And then I've got these light pink ruffled ones. I don't know the technical names of any of them. I was like, it's a pretty flower. And aren't they fabulous? I love it. Okay. So yeah, there's the peonies that I grow that have survived me. Okay. So then for this, we have the greenery, which I did this. Was this the last stencil? I think so. 5 of 5. Leaves. Okay. So for the greenery, I'm going to do peel paint. Yeah. I like showing off my peonies. I was like, yeah. Any of the plants I plant, like florals, anything, if they can survive me and my neglect, because that's basically what happens, it's a win. It is a win, because yeah, I have good intentions, and then I work too much, and I just haven't put in the time and effort, and yeah, but so far so good on the peonies. And then I did actually plant early last year. I was gifted a couple Japanese peony plants, which they have the they have almost like fern-like leaves to them. And yeah, I was gifted a couple tubers, so we will see, because they did not like being replanted at all. Like they literally were just like, no. And then just, so we'll see if they come back in the spring. I'm kind of hoping so, because those are fun too. So that's my peony collection, my real ones. And then I love the paper versions of stencils and die cuts and all the things. And now we have a special guest entering my domain. You got all the groceries. You survived the... They didn't have any marshmallows. Well, we can survive the marshmallows. Like, that'll be a... They didn't have orange cream Coke Zero. Why did you even come home?
I know.
It's always the things I like, you know? Yeah. Like, you looked. There's the disembodied hand.
Yeah.
No, did it even show up? I don't even think it showed up.
I saw it on the camera.
Did you? Okay.
Maybe. There it is.
There you are. The unpaid intern is here briefly. You can come back at the end and pick a winner for the card. Okay. That's under the... Or are you going to stay?
Well, no, I was...
It's up to you.
I was just going to come give you wet, sloppy kisses on camera.
Gross. That's inappropriate. I'm not that kind of channel. Seriously. Yeah, the card giveaway. I'm giving away the card, even though he's wasn't here. Now he's back, whatever. The giveaway doomahickey for the card is in the description box below the video. Because, you know, he wasn't here to put it in the chat for everyone. It's there.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. Like, you were out driving in the disaster. I saw your text.
Holy Lord.
Was it bad?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe
Over
it.
by Taylor, it's just a nightmare of ice. And...
That's why you do those things. So, yeah, no. I've been just, like, yapping. Yeah, literally. Just yapping and going on about 5 million things. And
well, it's nice everybody decided to show up and have fun.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Okay. I'm going to go in with Rustic Wilderness. Just lightly. Not too crazy. You don't have to, like, always do this. I have a thing for when it comes to oxides, but I do this with, like, all greens. I like to mix greens. But especially when I'm working with distress inks, specifically regular distress inks and oxides, if I'm doing greenery, it's always a light green and Rustic Wilderness. It's like, it is a habit now for me. I just love the look of it. I just love it. I love it. And I just like having the variation in the color. So he made it and now he's gone. Which is fine. He can keep an eye on the kids and all the other things going on. And I will definitely cut him extra slack because, yeah, he drove in the chaos. It's been really icy here. The weather's really cold. All the things. And he got at least enough of the groceries for chili. He couldn't get my orange cream Coke Zero. Which, whatever. I'll survive. Don't care. Don't care, man. Okay. So I did that. And then the last little bit is these centers, which I'm just going to do. How do I want to do the centers? Do I just want to do it with the... I'm just going to do the centers with lumberjack plaid. That's basically what I do anyway with peonies. Like, let's just keep it simple. Don't need to reinvent the wheel. So we'll just go in really dark with that. And do the centers. You can also mask off little areas if it, you know, but I'm not too concerned about any of this. It does not need to be perfect. We're going to be adding die cuts and splatter and all the things. Doop. Doop. There we go. There we go. Okay. Marianne, yes, I went on a whole diatribe on separate brushes for oxides and regular inks. Went very in depth on it as well. So we're good there. We are good. And is this not gorgeous? Like, even with me yapping and being distracted and all of my ridiculousness, anyone can do this, like, especially when it's layering stencils. Doodly doo. Oh, and dahlias. Yeah, I love dahlias too. They, for sure here, I don't know if it applies everywhere, but they have to be dug up every year and stored. Anything like that, I have not gotten into any of that type of plant, bulb, etc. I was like, if I have to dig it up in the fall and put it into storage, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, and I don't have the storage space. So I don't do it. But man, they are beautiful. There's so many beautiful florals. I love florals. I love them all. Um, Doodly doo. Uh, do do do. Okay, there we go. So there is that. And the reason why I did this on its own and not like I could have done it on here, but I wanted the Oxide on craft because I just like it. I could totally have done the Oxide on this. It would have looked amazing. But there's just something about that slightly muted version on the craft that I love. And my plan is to then die cut this with the what is the specific name of this? This is the Postage Collage Blocks wafer die. So you can use this in multiple ways. You could just die cut this as a frame and it fits, it can completely cover up. There we go. Yeah. That. So you could have, do your stenciling, stamping, whatever, and then use this as a frame. I could die cut a frame and just adhere it on top of this, etc. Like they all work, but I'm actually going to use this to die cut these. So I'm going to line him up just like that. Yep. And then I'm going to die cut this. So, doodly doo. Yes, poppies grow here. We are technically zone 3. So it gets very cold here. A lot of plants don't. However, all the genius scientists, that do the things that they do and hybridize plants, yada yada, we have a lot more options than we used to. But yeah, poppies do grow here. I have a poppy plant that I started. He's struggling because my soil is very, very heavy clay, does not drain well. And yeah, certain plants are struggling. My poppies are. I planted some like last year, the year before, and they came up this year, but they were sad. They were very unhappy. So if I had the money, I would honestly dig up because I have like flower beds along my back fence in our little backyard in the suburbs here. If I had the money, I would dig all that up heavily and deep and completely replace and put in like proper drainage, etc. But that's a fortune that I do not have. And I wish I had known that fully ahead of time. But anyway, okay. My die cuts were not perfect, so I probably should have, as usual, die cut first and then. But you know what? We're just gonna go with it. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. So, how am I gonna fix this? How am I gonna fix this? Ooh, I know what I can do. I know what I can do. I know exactly what I can do to fix this. It's going to be an extra step, but we're going to do it. So this is what I'll do. So I die cut them and I didn't line it up proper. So to make this work, because I'm not going to redo all of this, I'm going to edge these pieces with... This isn't what I picked out, but I'm just going to use my Gonzai Tombi. This will be pretty quick and simple. So I'm just, because I was going to add... I was gonna add gold splatter, but I'm just gonna use. Actually, no, I'm gonna use this one because this blue gold in the Gonzai Tombi palette matches the gold cardstock I'm going to use for the sentiment, which we'll get to. Okay. You can amend the clay with compost over time. I would have to dig up. Like, everything's established. I have trees planted. I have plants. And so even to try and amend it over, I would have to dig up everything that's already there. Like, it is a massive thing. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I literally don't have the time. But it is what it is. And I'm just making it work. And if plants can survive what it is and all the things, it works. Anyway. So, add water to this. Like so. And then, once I get it to the consistency I want, I can take the edge of my brush and I'm going to paint it on pretty thick to cover up more of that exposed border. So it'll just make it look a little more finished. It'll make it look a little more fancy. Just like that. And you can just do this regardless. I've shown this in a bunch of videos over the years. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, perfection is overrated. I need a hard bar. I need a hard bar. There we go. Something to set them down on. Let them dry. And we just keep repeating. Just doop. Like that. And that will cover the non-stenciled parts that I accidentally missed because I wasn't paying attention when I put the die cut on the plate before I ran it through my machine. So sometimes taking those extra seconds to pay attention, but do I do that? No. You know? And yeah, and sometimes the oopsies end up creating, you know, a little challenge, whatever, but like pivoting and finding a way to work with it, whether it's, you know, place in bling or doing something that ends up being like an extra element that you wouldn't have thought of originally, but then it's like, ooh, this is my favorite part about the things, you know? So, yeah. That one. And then we can do this one, just like so. Like that. Yeah, this was a trick I picked up from Christina Werner many years ago. Adding like metallic watercolor to the edge of a panel, etc. And I loved the look of it because so often you can do this and so then it looks, you know, it just gives it that extra something, and at times it can also look like an extra layer without creating bulk, you know. And it gives also that extra like handmade little like hand painted element to things too, because, you know, I get over the edges here and there, which is fine. And it just works. So we'll just do like that. And like that. There we go. So now I just got to let those guys dry. We will probably come back to him and use him for splatter later. I was going to use something else, but I'm probably going to stick with this for consistency's sake. So clean off my little brush. Like so. And then, I know, right? It looks like I was totally a genius and, you know, made it all fancy. And it's all shiny. And now you can't see or at least not very well. Well, I guess there's one spot. I can redo this side. But it helps hide that exposed craft edge where I didn't die cut properly. It's like there's always ways generally to, you know, fix an oopsie. There we go. Add a little bit more of that one. And he good. Add a little bit more. Just because we can. Love it. Love it. Oop. Oop. There we go. So yeah, just let those dry. So, okay. We'll set him there. And I got this. That's gonna be my background. I think this is already now like on like pre-order status because it's been popular. This is the Lattice texture die. That's what I die cut in the beginning. So this is one, and I used this on yesterday's video as well. There is no edge to this. It does just the pattern. So I just ran this through with another piece of Desert Storm, and it just adds the piercing detail, which just that is fabulous. Love it. And then let me move some of these. There we go. Let me clean up a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Red. There. Okay. There were stencil sets that were also released with this, if I can find them. There they are. So I used the dashed lattice dots on yesterday's card. And they line up. You can use them on their own. They line up with this. Mixy matchy, whatevers. And then the other one was the dashed lattice hearts. And we're not going to see a whole lot of this because like this is going to cover. So I don't even know if I'm actually going to use it because I don't think we're going to see any of it really. It's actually meant to go this way. However, I'm planning on flipping my card this way. Just give me a sec while I... Oh, we might be able to see a little... maybe. Because I'm just going to go like this, and then I'm actually... Can I make it work that way? Can I use it horizontally is what I'm asking myself. Oh, yeah. I could make this work. I can still use the little ones. Can I... Will they show up? Will the little ones... Will we even be able to see it is the thing. Because there's no point doing the stenciling if you can't see it when this goes on. Which... no. So, you've seen the stencil. Woo! You've seen it. Who cares? I am going to trim this down a bit, though. Since I'm not stenciling it. Because there's no point. Why bother doing the work if nobody's going to see it? You can see it on the previous card, though. And I loved it. I'm going to trim this down. It was originally A2 size. I'm just going to trim this down to 4 by 5 1/4. Just because. Like that. There we go. There we go. Okay. So we got that. And then we're going to have that. Yeah, so you're just going to see a little bit of that piercing detail peeking out around the edges. And then that's so weird that some of you guys are getting like ads popping up in the chat. I have never seen that. And I don't even pay for premium yet. But weird. So weird. So weird. Okay. We have that. I'm going to be adhering all my little pieces. Are they dry? Are they dry enough? Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Because I want to adhere these and get them in their places. So this is why I did all this separately, because I really wanted the white edges. And then, yeah, just another look, you know? Options and clogged glue. not surprised at all with this. You know, it just is what it is. Okay. Unclog my glue. And now I can adhere these to my die cut background. Like that. And then we'll just center them like that. Love it. Love it. Yes. So it just gives it that extra something. Prohibition apple. I don't even want to know what you guys are talking about. I missed some of this. Sometimes the conversations you guys have are interesting. Not like usually I'm in like a dirty shirt and I'm the one who starts all the ridiculous conversations, because we all know. Oh, look, the unpaid intern is doing his job from upstairs. Good for you. Where's my... Not that it really matters. We can kind of do whatever we want. Okay. So that goes there. That goes there. This one goes here. Yes. Yes. Okay. I always get kind of turned around sometimes when things are in pieces and like I'm trying to eyeball and, you know. There we go. It's just annoying when they keep popping up one time. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah. Yep. I especially don't like those types of ads. Those are some I get offered. That is a sponsorship offer I get a lot now, is to promote like websites or apps that are all AI driven, like friendship apps, or like so that you can just talk to an AI program. Hate it. Would never in a million years. They could not pay me enough money to promote that type of garbage. I hate it with the power of 1,000 suns. It makes me beyond angry. I don't agree with it. I don't like AI. I can rant about that. AI needs to just... It has its applications in controlled settings for certain things. It is amazing. But in creative spaces and in terms of human contact and human interaction and human emotion and human conversation, AI has no place in any of that. Okay, thank you. Bye. So, yeah, I will not promote that crap. Those emails get blocked and deleted, and I get offered it all the bloody time, and it drives me insane. Because, yeah. Yep. Okay. There we go. Last but not least, we'll get that guy in place. Love it. Focus camera. There we go. Ooh, there we go. We'll get the shine. Fun. And the horrible environment. Oh, yes, the environmental impact. I have many conversations about this with the unpaid intern. He works in tech. Every single time someone uses like an AI prompt, at minimum, it wastes about $200 worth of resources, water, power, etc. every time. So then compound that into the millions upon millions, and the data centers, all of it. Y'all, not cool, man. Not cool. Okay. So we have this. I need to let these fully dry. So I'm going to pop that off to the side or on the floor. Just throw your stuff on the floor. There's a professional, a totally professional tip. Just fling it on the floor. Okay, we're gonna set them aside. pile a couple things on top, let that dry. We're also going to do ladybugs because I love ladybugs. And these were, I showed these in yesterday's video as well. This time I just die cut them from black cardstock and from red cardstock just to keep things a little simpler because they're super, super cute. There we go. And then I do that all the time. I know, right? Everything ends up on the floor, whether I want it to or not. I spend more time knocking things over and picking them up again than I do getting things done. Because I am also extremely clumsy. That is my life. There we go. There we go. Let me do. Gotta pop out all the little. I guess I could have. Yeah, follow my own advice. I showed this earlier. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, so we got our little pieces. They're super simple to adhere. And the one I did yesterday, I die cut these pieces from like white cardstock and then just ink blended them, but you could also keep it simple like so and just do it from red and black cardstock, and then you have little ladybugs. Oh, so good. So good. So I adhere them, and then I just put a little magnet on top just to hold them, just to hold it in place. The older I get, the more clumsy I become. Same. It's annoying, really. It's annoying. Gremlins take my stuff. Same. I have a poltergeist that lives in my cardstock cabinet. And then I've got the tech gremlins that like to come out and mess with my tech, especially during lives. Knock on wood that, this all works. And then I've got the random little craft gremlins that like to move my things. And by craft gremlins, I mean myself. Because even as I was grabbing things for today's live, I had a stamp set in my hand. I set it down and then completely forgot where I put it. And then I was like ripping apart everything, trying to find it because, it was just in my hands. And I had to keep retracing my steps. And I finally had to retrace my steps. And I was flipping through a couple different bins of, stamps and dies and everything else. And then my brain finally caught up again. And it was like I had set it aside, right beside that. It was right there, right in front of my face the entire time, I do that every day now, multiple times a day. Chris will find me wandering around the house sometimes looking for, I told that story in one of my lives recently. Yeah. I lost a wave. Oh, when I was doing that snowflake garland, that video I did that I posted earlier this week. While I was die cutting the pieces, I lost the circle wafer. There's a circle wafer die. While I was doing it. And, I was right in the middle. I made, I was doing a ton of die cutting. It was insane. And I couldn't for the life of me find it. I thought I was crazy. And, this is a basic eraser. I got a bit of glue here. So I was wandering around the house looking for it because I was like, was it in my hand when I went to refill my little water cup, all of it. I was like, did I take it with me in the bathroom? I wandered around the entire house. Couldn't find it for the life of me. Thought I was going insane because I was like, how did I manage to lose this? And then I went to grab, because I have a little thingy for my phone, and this is magnetic. And it was literally, it's smaller than this, but it was because my phone is, so I must have set my phone down and it grabbed the wafer die. So it only took me, you know, like an hour to find the darn thing or however long it was. I just, y'all, that was fun. That was fun. But I found it. So that was a win. Like, yep, 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 yep. The same gremlin takes just one sock from the drawer. I know, right? It's basically how it is. It's basically how it is. Like, yeah. Still haven't found that pack of watercolor paper. Still haven't after all this time. You know, it's around here somewhere. Either that or I managed to maybe use it up without I have no idea, but I'm sure I'm going to find it. I'm not worried about it because I stuff like watercolor paper, etc. I keep extras of many, many, many extras because it's something I use a lot of. So yeah, but almost everything does everything else, in fact, but that one pack of watercolor paper. Everything else I have managed to find. Sometimes it takes a while. Other times it takes me having like a complete meltdown because it's like I need this. Like I'm using it as we speak. Anyway, there's little ladybugs. Look at them. They're so cute and adorable, and I love them. I love them so much. These are ridiculous. Like stop it. Stop it. I love it. I love it. Ladybugs, man, they're so cute. They're so cute. Yeah. Oh, I didn't link to this, but white gel pen, man. Gotta have. Just have it. Can't not add little eyeballs to these guys. It's just, it just gives them that little extra something. And then just little highlights here and there. Whoop, whoop. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, just a little dot with a white gel pen. A couple little just little things like that, you know? And then we can add one there, one there. Add a highlight. Like that. Like that. And then boop. Little bits. Little bits. If you can't tell, I love ladybugs. They're so cute. And they just make me happy. Doop. There we go. And then this final guy, give him his little eyeballs. Like that. Just random little highlights. And then while we're at it, I can do the same thing. The thing you have to remember with adding adding gel pen on top of dye basings, but especially oxides. Do not be surprised, especially like reds, etc. Don't be surprised if it doesn't stay white because as the gel pen is drying, it'll a lot of times will absorb the ink, the oxide ink and whatnot, because oxides are water reactive. And yeah, it just happens. It's the same thing like adding white splatter a lot of the times will change color as it's drying because it's just absorbing. It's absorbing the color. I'm just adding it wherever, but it does give that extra something. There you go. Do much prefer the paper ones. At least they don't pinch. See, and I know that ladybugs do that. They haven't done that to me in years. Because I'm always picking them up. Because we get a fair bit of them. And I'm always trying to like encourage the kids to not fear the bugs and things like that. And then I'm also, especially if the ladybugs are not like on the plants, like if they end up on the sidewalk, things like that. So then I'm always picking them up and putting them with the greenery or wherever, like nearby plants for them, that sort of a thing. And yeah, they haven't bit me in many, many years now, but I remember them doing that when I was a kid. And yeah, this little ladybug set, it's linked. It's a standalone little die set. It's just called Ladybug. It's a base die and the little topper. It's just a little mini die set. And I loves it because then you can add little ladybugs to whatever, you know, because they'll go with all our big floral dies and stamps and things. So I'm just adding highlights like wherever. We ain't gonna worry about any sort of light source, friends, because I just can't be bothered. Hands are sticking to things. Let's add some dots to the centers. Just because we can. Doop. Do. Didn't know they pinch. Yeah, ladybugs can bite. They don't usually, but I think it just depends. It doesn't really hurt, but because ladybugs are so little. Okay. Doop. I'm just trying to. It's a little hard to see some of the different layers with all the colors, you know, with them being similar colors, but again, it doesn't need to be like accurate. This is just giving it a little extra something. There's a beetle that looks like a ladybug. Yeah, the Asian, I think they're just called Asian lady beetles. There's a specific name for them, but yes, those ones are not cool. And I keep a close eye out for those because they are up here in Canada now as well, and they are invasive. They look like ladybugs, but if you take a closer look at them, they're not. And they're not good. Like they are an invasive species, and yeah, those ones are icky, but we haven't seen any yet. I keep a close eye during that time of year. And I was talking to Chris about it because I was like, oh my gosh, like look at this one. Do you think this is what, you know, one of those types? Because you don't want invasive species, but we haven't seen any yet. And hopefully we don't. Instead, we were dealing with disgusting tree worms this past year, and that was an absolutely vile adventure that I don't recommend. It was awful. It was awful. I was traumatized. Okay, let me get this last little bit. Just little curves and dots wherever. It's kind of following the curve of the shape. A little dot here, a little line there. Like so. And I just rotate the cardstock so that I don't rest my hand on what I've already done, because the oils of my skin a lot of times will smear, either because it hasn't dried yet, or if it's sitting for too long, it'll smear the ink, smear the gel pen. Been there, done that. More times than I care to admit. It's kind of annoying. Dots. Little line, boop, boop. There we go. Okay. The Asian lady beetle. Yeah, it's an orangey red. It's an orangey red, and they have a different. There's photos online of the Asian lady beetle and a ladybug, and the Asian one is more orangey red, and they have a weird markings on their little face area that's slightly different. So every time the ladybugs now come, like, start showing up, I take a really close. I was like, is that? Because yeah, the other kind, they're invasive and they can like ruin things and all that. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So white gel pen. See how much of a difference just adding little bits. How it just makes everything go. You know. Love it. Love it. So we have that. And then we've got some extra little die cut greenery. I used this yesterday too. I haven't even used this die like as it's intended. This is the Rose Bouquet. Is that what it's called? I always forget the names of everything. Herbie Jerby. Yeah, the Rose Bouquet die. I used this on yesterday's video as well and used it as just the greenery bits. So then at the very beginning when I was yapping at everyone and die cutting, I just die cut some scraps from like the edges just to get some little greenery bits. I plan on using them. We'll see. They might not work. And if they don't, I'll save it for something else. Not a big deal. But I die cut them and then I'll just use some, let me move some stuff out of the way here. Some Rustic Wilderness ink to add a little bit of extra depth to that. It just gives it ew, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, everything I hear about those Asian lady beetles makes my skin's crawling just thinking about it. So it is something to be vigilant about, especially if you're in an area where they have been spotted. And we will see. We will just see. I really hope I don't ever see one because I'll probably start freaking out. You know, we're being infested. Anyway. Okay. So just adding that little bit. Doop, doop, doop. Just gives it depth. You know, depth. Love it. Very simple. Very simple. I'm going to move this aside for a moment. I am going to wipe this off with my cloth. So we have the background. We have this. I linked to and I was going to stamp like cancellation marks and everything, but you know what? I think I'm going to skip it this time. I did pull the sets out and I have them linked, but I'm not going to use them. Yeah. I was going to use the original Postage Collage because it's got the cancellation and different amounts and fun little things. And then I also pulled out the Postage Collage Love because there's a bunch. There's a bunch of different themes, yada yada yada. And this one is, you know, love themed. And yeah. You know what? Let's skip it this time. We don't always have to do it. I am going to pop this on with, am I going to pop it on with foam tape? Of course I am. Of course I am. Who am I kidding? Big Mama foam tape for the win. Okay. Okay. We're going to put some foam tape on here. Let's just cut off a piece. That'll make things easier. So, Big Mama foam tape so that I can pop this guy up and give him just a little bit of dimension. You could stamp the postage cancellation marks in gold. You can, but when you stamp with gold ink, it doesn't show up as well. Gold pigment inks are finicky. I do not stamp with them very often. If I do stamp with them, I usually like using a stamp positioner and stamp multiple times, like re-ink stamp to build it up. And then by that point, it takes forever to dry. So then it usually needs to be heat set. And I just, yeah. That's why you guys almost never see me stamping with metallic inks, because they're beautiful. They're just finicky. And then stamping them on top of something like this would just get annoying. So usually if I want a metallic finish, that's usually when I'll just heat emboss. But I'm not going to mess around with heat embossing during a live on top of Oxide ink, because this takes a while to dry as well, yada yada, and we're going to add splatter. But it could work. I would just probably stick it. If I wanted to stamp with a metallic ink on this, I would put this in a stamp positioner and stamp that way, so I could get, and it doesn't need to be perfect. That's what I love about the cancellation marks. But just ensure that it would show up is my thing. Because sometimes, again, metallic inks, they are their own finicky thing. They're beautiful, but pigment inks are their own beast. And then metallic pigment inks are a whole other beast to deal with. Okay. So we've got that. We're just going to pop him into place like so. And then I'm even going to put Big Mama foam tape on the back of this, because this foam tape is thin enough that I can do this. Stay where you belong there. There we go. Just going to make sure I got that piece. There we go. In his home. Okay. There we go. New frame. I assume you mean my glasses frames? Oh, I got these like a couple years ago, I think. Yeah, it's been, I think, a good couple-ish years. They're similar to the pair I had before this. But yes, I've had them for a very long time. And I don't have a link for them or a source or anything. I got them from my optometrist. And I have not ordered glasses online for many years now. I used to, like a decade ago, because I used to be able to get really good deals on frames. But I don't anymore. And yeah, I just get them from my optometrist. And stupid expensive. Okay. Splatter. I wanna, because I don't want to do the sentiment yet. Or do I? Because my plan... No, we got to adhere this into place. And then we could put a little bit of... No. I want to do splatter, because then the splatter will dry. Splatter will dry. And then we can add our little... So, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, splatter all the things. Let's do, where is all, we'll do some white splatter. We'll do some black splatter. Do. And then, there we go. So we're going to add a bit of white splatter to a card front. This time I'm not using my fan brush, just cause something different. This guy's a little Zen size 4, and anything works, honestly. I jump around with some of the products I use, the tools I use, more so because I just get bored and I'm just like, I wonder, haven't used this in a while, or ooh, this is new, add to cart, whatever. So a little bit of white splatter, a little bit of black splatter, Just like a drop of that. I'm not going to add a ton. So some white splatter. And then a bit of black splatter. Doop, doop. That's good. So we got that one. And then last, but certainly not least, we'll add some gold splatter. Because why not? Why not? Okay. I had linked to something else for the gold splatter, but I'm just going to use my Gonzai Tombi palette because it's basically ready to go. But I also want to wipe off the mess I've made so that I don't get this all over myself. Okay. So Gonzai Tombi. I'll just edit this link later. I think this is like sold out everywhere anyway, but a little bit of gold. Get that on my brush. Just like so. And just add a bit of gold. Just because we can. Boop, boop, boop. Good enough. Okay. So we got that. And then clean off my brush. Set that aside again so that I can fully dry. We got that. And then for my sentiment, I got splatter on the vellum. That's hilarious. Don't care. It's fine. I literally got splatter on it though. You're going all Kathy's small splatter brush. I know, right? I am her biggest fan. I didn't post this yet to my social medias. Oh, I didn't put it on here, did I? Crap. It's not on here. It's on a different device. I don't even know if I can. Will I be able to add that? Yes, I can. Let's see if I can add that so I can show you guys because it just would be funny. Because I was going to text this to Kathy just to prove that I'm her number one stalker. her number one super fan. Because I always joke how I'm the queen of the Kathy Zielski fan club. Done. No. Why you no update? Update. Okay. I'll just wait for it to like go on my phone because it should. There we go. Sync. That's why. Never mind. Resume. All my devices are doing too much when I'm live streaming. Anyway. Okay. I need to adhere my layers. So this is the With Love little wafer die. Ooh. There's a little piece still stuck in there. There we go. Now I can share it. My YouTube recap. When it popped up like my number one most viewed YouTube videos. Yeah. So yeah, Kathy, if you happen to be watching this, sometimes she lurks. She's admitted it. Sometimes she lurks in my live streams, but she's usually like watching sports and has a life. But yeah. So yeah. There was one channel you really showed up for. So I need to text that to her and be like, from your number one super fan, you know? Anyway. With Love die cut. With a little additional black splatter. I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. So, I die cut it at the beginning when I was yapping to you guys about all the things. That's when I was die cutting this. So I die cut the words from white cardstock. And then I die cut the top layer from matte gold cardstock. And then we layer them together because that builds dimension. And as the great Laura Basson sings, dimension is life. And I'm not going to sing that because it would be awful. But it's always playing in my head. Every time that phrase when I'm stacking die cuts and when I say the phrase, it's just like I can hear it in her voice. Yeah. Yep. So yeah. So I do just the 2 layers. You can do as many as you want, whatever floats your boat when it comes to building dimension. I appreciate you guys. I'm seeing you guys leave those comments, and yeah, I appreciate it. It's fun. And it means a lot hearing it, like people saying that they they show up and they enjoy watching my content and my ridiculous self and my chaotic lives. And yeah, I don't even have words for how much it means. Toot, toot, toot. Okay, let me get the glue on before there we go. So then the outline, die cut from vellum, managed to get black splatter on it because that's just is what it is. I don't really care. Because yeah, splatter is life, man. But then I adhere all of that like so. I very much love, specifically like this wafer die, I love how it's a mix of fonts. And I do love how the tittle, if the if the unpaid intern is watching, free the tittle. It always makes him giggle, and especially when he's not expecting it. Anyway, I love how it's attached, so you don't have to do it separately. So yeah, doot 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 doot. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate you guys. So, adhered it to the vellum outline. And then this little trick, I've shown this many, many times. Let me put a couple magnets to let it really fuse. I've shown this trick many times. I don't take credit for this. And I wish I could remember, because it was a long time ago now, like quite some time ago. Otherwise, I would like try to find it. But another maker showed this. It was at least a couple years ago. I forget when. It was a while ago. Because I used to always just stack my die cuts on vellum, build up dimension. And then I would just trace behind the die cut. I would trace with my glue. Because you need to hide the glue behind the die cut. Because glue shows through vellum. Liquid glue, all of it. All liquid glue, and even the types of adhesives that claim that they don't show up behind vellum. They're full of it. You can still see it. Vellum's transparent. Like, it is what it is. But I would trace very, very carefully, especially if it was a finicky sentiment, with my glue to not show it. And then another maker was like just taking an extra die cut, adding glue to it, and adhering it behind to build up the dimension and to give a place to put the glue so you're not having to fiddle like I was doing for years. I was struggling for years, and I would still do it because it, looks better. But this was a game changer. So I don't take credit for this. I'm not that smart. I'm not. I don't come up with like super cool game changing techniques or anything like that. That's just not really how my brain works. But yeah, whoever you are out there, you're a genius. You're a genius. I hope your pillow is cold on both sides. I hope you never run out of snacks because it's so much easier doing it this way. Because now I can just put glue on this. Plus, that little bit of cardstock die cut pops up the vellum, like lifts it just a smidge, depending on the weight of the cardstock. This is 110-pound weight cardstock, so it does, And if you want it more, you could add extra layers. I never add more than one because I'm lazy. But it lifts the vellum a bit too, so it floats a bit more, and it just looks better. So, love that. So I've got that. And then I've got these, my little bits of greenery, because I had hoped to kind of tuck some of these. See, it's coming. Oh, it's coming together. I love that for me. I have to be a little careful and kind of, if I hadn't used vellum and just used cardstock, these pieces wouldn't matter. You know, I would just glue it because it gives an extra place of glue. But because you can see through the vellum, I don't want to have the lumps, you know, showing. But I can tuck a few of these. Yes. Oh, this is coming. I love it. I love it. It's already like, it's working. So we do that. We could add a couple like that. And then we can snip. Yes. Okay. This is working. This makes me happy. This makes me happy. Okay. Hello. Hello to those tuning in late. Goodbye to those that have to run. I know this is a much longer live. Who am I kidding? Most of my lives are pretty long because I like to talk. I like to chat with you guys, and I get distracted very, very easily. Very easily. It doesn't take much. I am basically the human version of the dog from the movie Up. And it's a constant, like, squirrel, you know? Always. And then color me surprised when I officially got diagnosed with ADHD. Shocker. Shocker. I was so shocked. Yeah. Yep. Anyway. Okay. Doop. But again, that's also why I appreciate you guys that, you know, tune in for my chaos and rambling and distraction. And those that watch on the replay, I see y'all too. Because I get it. Not everyone's got the time to tune in during a live, or, you know, you got other things going on, etc. And those that watch on the replay, love you guys too. It's awesome. It's awesome, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. Okay. Doo-doo-doo-doo. I gotta add this little guy. So I got my little, just my few little leaf clusters. And then my sentiment. Oh, it's coming together. Love it. Oh, don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. Okay. So yeah, I can just put glue now on the back of the cardstock, and I don't have to worry about it touching the vellum at all. Because the issue too was, you know, doing this along just the vellum, when you go to press it down, the glue would quite often ooze a little bit past the front die cut. And then you're left with those unsightly little marks through the vellum, which sometimes don't show up. Other times it's like they'll just look not cool. So just adding the little cardstock die cut, game changer. So much easier. Love it. Never going back. Okay. So we'll add that like that. And then I'll just hold him for a second because it's very uneven with all the layers that I have. I don't need to hold it. Who am I talking about? Like, that's what the magnets are for. Just use the magnets. Boop. There we go. That's better. I'm a professional. I know how to do all the things. Okay. Really do. I try to play my deer, and I love that. I love it. I love it. Oh, the whole review thing. I think it's still. Does it still work? Oops, wrong thing. Wrong thing. Let me double check, y'all, because I can just. Cause since we're talking about it, was it just youtube.com/ No. Crap. I don't think they're doing it anymore. I think the whole like little review thing, so you could see those little recaps. I think, did it end yesterday? I don't even know. I didn't even know it was a thing. people were just tagging me and sending me some messages. Like I got a few little tags because they were posting their little recaps. And I thought that was really cool. And I had no idea how they were even getting it. I was like, that's awesome. Had no idea. And then someone told me, they're like, oh, you just go to YouTube, like when you're signed in and go /review and it pops up. And then that's how I got mine. And that was yesterday, the day before. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, honestly. But yeah, it's just a cool little thing, you know? And it just, as a content creator and someone who does this as a job, it's cool. It's cool. So we have that. And then we need a card base, you know? It needs to go on a card base. The card base I did not, the card base that I did not make. But I have a piece of Neenah. Neenah Desert Storm, of course, because it's craft on craft, because that is my thing. So it's going to be a top folding A2 5.5 by 4.25 card, just like so. And then on the inside, this was the stamp set that I couldn't find earlier because I lost it. This came out in the fall, a few months ago, something. I've used it multiple times already. It's the Grateful Heart Sentiments set. There's a set and there's a matching die set for it as well. And yeah, I thought I would use the ooh, I like that too. There's so many good sentiments in this one. I love it. I'm going to do that one. And then I'm going to add, yeah, I'm going to use 2 sentiments. And even though I can only send out 1 card, because I only made 1 card, the sentiments on the inside, this applies to all of you. Because sometimes the sentiments say it better than I can, or they're able to say it with a stamp versus me trying to say it on a live and then I start crying because I'm an emotional glue bag. And in all my years, I still need to learn to like regulate. I was going to say control, but that's not the word I want. Is regulate my emotions. And those, again, that have been watching a lot of my lives, like it's usually every however many, I end up having a complete meltdown and crying on a live, which is what it is. Anyway, we're gonna line up that one. Yeah. So I'm gonna stamp this one in. I'm gonna stamp this one in the Festive Berries. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay. I'm like thinking on the fly here how I'm gonna do this. I want to do a multicolor. So we're gonna do. Oh, I haven't forgotten the ladybugs. Trust me, they're right here. They're right here. We're gonna add them. Not forgetting, because we'll put a couple on the inside too. They're in my peripherals. I'm trying not to lose those little dudes. They're gonna get added. It's all good. Okay. I'm gonna ink this up. Stamp it a couple times. Love. Okay. Love. So we got that. And then I just realized you only made 1 card. How un-Amy of you. I know. I know, right? How could I honestly, y'all? Honestly. And this is it's just an internal thing I have. The times where I do a video and I only make 1 card, like the one I posted yesterday, I always feel like my brain is just like, dude, you're failing. You know, because I always do. Usually I'll do multiples. It's just habit. And I love doing it. And then the times where I don't, I'm just like, oh, why? Why are you in here? I know that's not what you meant, but that's, again, you guys, welcome to my ridiculous headspace. Anyway. Sometimes doing this as a job can get very interesting because, you know, fighting with my constant self and my issues, and then that internal need to. It's like, I need to wow them and like invent a whole new technique, like raw, you know, and overthinking it, blah, blah, all of it. Some days it's a lot. I'm not even gonna lie, all the time, 24/7, while we're talking right this moment, making sure that's straight. Okay. Yeah. And then I just so often I have to tell myself, like, dude, just chill and make something. It doesn't have to be, I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'm not even qualified to do that, you know? There. So there, and that's for all y'all. Love it, you know? So, oh, yeah. Welcome to perimenopause. That's how it starts. Wait till the Christmas commercials. One, thankfully, I don't really watch a lot of TV, like at all, so I don't see those commercials. But oh yeah, trust me. Some of them can just get me right in the feels. I'll be sitting here crying over diaper commercials. Some of those ones, stop it. Just stop it. The worst. I will just sob. So yeah, it'll always be something kind of ridiculous. Okay, so this will be the inside, and then I just gotta figure out. I got like paint. I got stuff all over me. Okay, we're gonna do one there probably. I want to put a little one. It's gonna go right there. Yeah, we'll stick one right there, and then like that. Maybe I'll save him. That'll work. That'll work. Okay. You don't need to do any of that. Oh, I know. Trust me. I know. But it's the internal pressure I place on myself in all aspects gets to be exhausting. It's a constant daily battle. And the unpaid intern can attest to that one. He's had to put up with a lot of my meltdowns where I'm literally like, I'm failing at life. Wah! You know, so fun. But yeah. Okay. What am I doing? This. Okay. Doodly do. Got that. And then I'm going to just adhere these guys. I don't need to build up dimension with these. I'm just going to adhere them like that. There we go. And then, oh, I always got to do the insides of my cards. It's a habit I started way before. It was a habit I started way before I even started anything online. Way back when I first started making cards over 20 years ago. Me, little baby card maker, literally. I used to sell my cards at the store I was working at. I used to work at this video store that rented out movies, and we also had bulk foods and stuff. It was just a little local store that I worked at. And the owner let me have a little basket. We had a big like counter area with the till and candy, all that kind of stuff. And the owner let me have a little basket with all my cards and let me keep all the money. We just had a little envelope and we put the money in. And because I worked there like full time, so it was usually me, and people would be flipping through them, and all the time people would pull out a card and the first thing they did was open it up every single time. And they're like, there's nothing here. So that's when I started adding sentiments, strips of pattern paper, like so that there was always something on the inside, and it just stuck. I can't now. To me, a card isn't finished. And honestly, it's another thing that like, and I don't say this as a complaint because it's my own issue, is it gets a little exhausting sometimes when I've got deadlines and things, and I'm like, what am I gonna, I'll plan out the whole front of the card, but I'm like, what am I gonna do on the inside? What am I, and overthinking it. And sometimes in some of my older videos, I used to go all out, like entire, like multiple types of pattern paper and images and so many things, so much stuff, which still fine, but it just got to be a little bit ridiculous, and I cut it back. And now I tell myself it's fine if it's just a sentiment. Just a sentiment. That's great. Doesn't need to be all the things. And then other times I'll add more. Just depends on my mood. But yeah. Okay. There we go. Get that last little piece stuck where he belongs. We got our inside. I gotta center this guy, which is a little harder to do when it's craft on craft, so it's harder to see what I'm doing. So my head might get in the way, but you know what? I'll do a little Kathy Zilski trick and tape my card closed. Just like that. Just so that I'm not fighting with my card when I'm trying to line this up. There we go. That's better. She does have a lot of neat little tricks, that Kathy Zilski. And then I saved the tape for another project. And that's it, folks. I wonder if the unpaid intern is still watching, because if he is, he can pick a winner. I will text him upstairs. I need a winner. Where are you? Help. LOL. Okay. Okay. He's coming. He'll come and pick a winner. Let me zoom in a bit. I started watching you when you were still married. It's like, oh yeah, I've been posting videos for, I think, since 2009. Something like that. It's been a long time. I do.
I was watching.
Were you?
Maybe I was just a minute or two behind or something.
Did you catch when I was talking to you directly?
Yeah, about the
Free the tittle? I thought you were watching. Did you laugh?
I laughed.
Okay, as long as you laughed. Okay, there you go, folks. There is our finished card. Goodness, I've been live for a long time. This is a long live, but it was fun. I was yapping. I was yapping. What else is new? So we've got gold and peonies and oxides and splatter and ladybugs and postage theme and pierce dye. All the things. And then the inside. Love it. I love it. This was fun. I love this set. Let me switch to, there we go. Yeah, so I have a link to the Waffle Flower December release, because that's where all of this, with the exception of like the basic like Postage Collage Die, but all the newer stuff is in that release, along with everything else I used is linked to. I'll just have to edit like a couple things when the live is over, like add the Gonzai Tombi, that kind of thing. But everything is linked. We'll save my little random, or maybe I'll just tuck him in. He'll just be a little bonus. He'll fall out when the card gets opened. And then yeah, I'll edit my links. And then when the live is officially over and I'm done yapping at everyone, I do the photos and the social medias and the blog post and all that kind of stuff as well. And I think I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. This was fun. It went so quickly. Yeah, like when we're having a good time and talking and chatting, and yeah, it works. It works. And then what do you use to pick a winner? We just use our random like number generator, and then he checks it against my blacklist.
Yep.
Because there is a list of names that generally I don't think anyone has.
No.
Yeah. I think the people that have been blocked and have trolled just stay away now for the most part. It's the bigger giveaways that they usually pop in. Anyway, he does the work for me so that we can do it during a live. Otherwise, I do it. Yeah. So anyway, who am I going to send this to?
This is Kathy in Florida.
Kathy in Florida. I am planning on doing a mail out this week. I haven't mailed out the last couple lives, however many. There's like 3-ish cards, something like that. But yeah, I am, because I have to leave my house this week. We're getting flu shots and COVID shots, all that fun stuff. So I'm being forced to leave my house. And my plan is to mail out the cards. And then, yeah, they'll take their sweet time to arrive, because it is what it is. It is what it is, you know? Today's been fun. A randomizer. Yeah, usually just like random.org. Just a little, put in the numbers of however many, have it pick a random number, and then correspond with the little document that I always put, the form that you guys fill out, which always, I've talked about this before, but the disclaimer, those forms that I have people put their name and address in, I delete those. Like, I don't save anyone's info. I don't post it anywhere. I don't sell it. Nothing. I destroy all of that. I just keep the address of the winner to mail out the card, and then we do a new one on next week's live, etc. So, yeah. Hopefully that explained all of it. I appreciate all y'all. Post is very slow. Oh, everything's slow in December. Everything's slow. Plus, I'm in Canada, so things just take longer regardless. It just is what it is. And I'm also just, my life is chaos. Behind the scenes, it's chaos, but I deal with it. And yeah, I will have more videos coming, of course. I had posted however many this past week. I don't know yet about any bonus lives as of right now. As of right now, all the Sundays in December, I still am planning on going live on all of them. Let me double check. As of right now, of course, I will keep everyone updated if that changes. Yeah, because none of them fall on a holiday. So that is the plan for now, is that the other 3 Sundays this month, I do plan on going live at 2 p.m. Central, like always. If something changes, or because we're not 100% sure yet on like holiday plans, that sort of a thing, but still planning on doing them. I'm still going to be making holiday cards right up until Christmas, because I like to anyway. It's fun. And also for me, it's like I'm building up my stash for next year. So yeah, still going to be making holiday cards right up until Christmas. And then I'll probably follow through like I've done this year, making holiday cards at least once a month, like following, because I'm really glad. There was a lot of you that were requesting that over the years, and I kept saying like, no, don't want to. As soon as the holiday's over, I'm done with it. But this year I decided to go for it. I don't know why. And I'm so glad I did, because it just took a lot of the pressure off, because I make just a lot of holiday cards. I like making them. It's just, yeah. So that is the plan. And yeah, I have several videos coming this week. There's another new release coming. What is today? The 7th? Later this week. So videos for that. Whatever else I have up my sleeves, I don't even know. My brain is already starting to just like, I'm like the unpaid intern. When he's done, he's just done. Like when he's done his part of the lives, he's gone. He's long gone. He left. He already did his disembodied hand earlier. He helped pick the winner. He's done. He's gone. He just tunes out. It makes me laugh. And my brain is kind of starting to follow suit. It's like, oh, he left. He's done. Brain, I think it just crawled on after him. So It is what it is. Enjoy. Yes, I need to make sure. I might even make that this evening. We'll see. No, maybe not. It's already getting close to 5 p.m. here. Ooh, ooh. I'll probably make it tomorrow. He'll help with that though. It's easy to make. It's just it's a lot of opening of like cans and the prep, and then you just throw it all in a pot. But yeah, I appreciate you guys a lot. I appreciate y'all watching past videos, tuning into my lives, all of it. It's been a year. I don't talk about my personal life much at all for many, many reasons. Just is what it is. But this has been a really, really, really awful year behind the scenes. Just in ways that, y'all, it's been a year. Cannot wait till it is just over. Let's start fresh. But yeah, the lives have been good, and the chat and the messages and the comments and all the things have been a very bright spot in a very cruddy, pretty awful year, to be honest. But things are good, looking at the positives. And yeah, I'm going to do my photos. I'll edit my supply list the little bit that I need to. And I think that's it. I don't think I have any other housekeeping or anything. Thank you, Twyla. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah. No, I appreciate the support and stuff. Yeah, it's been good. And I've got the playlist. It's linked below. And then I always put it, and I talk about this in my like regular videos, when I say like, oh, it's in the end screen at the very end of my videos, because I do my little Patreon like shout out and things. And at the very end, I have a screen, and then there'll be other videos to click on, and that will show right after this live ends. But I have to add that after. So once it processes, I'll add the playlist, my Postage Collage playlist. I'll put that in there. I'll put yesterday's video in there, trying to make things as easy to find, because I don't even know how many videos on YouTube at this point. I honestly have no idea how many videos I've uploaded. It's a lot. There's well over 2,000. It's been many, many years of doing this as a job, and I pump out content like a literal crazy person, because I am crazy. Let's all be honest. I'm not even sure. I have no idea. 960. That's a lot. That's a ridiculous amount. 9. Oh, that's not correct at all. I have no idea. Last I checked, was like quite some time ago, and it was over 2,000. There's a lot. I have a lot of videos. That's why I try to do playlists, to try and like organize. And I've been working on that on the back end on my own website. I talked about that. I've been slowly doing bits and pieces. That's a brain slog and very time consuming for me, but I've been working on that to make things work better, make things look better. It's a lot. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. Little bits and pieces and all the things. Yeah. So that is it for me. Appreciate you guys. Heart hands, and ladybugs. And again, don't want to lose him. I'm going to keep him. This applies to all my peoples, because I'm very grateful. And yeah, we're all crazy here, whatever. Yeah, we're all mad here. 100%. I think, yeah. You guys get me, and I appreciate it. And my ankles are cold. So random, but they are. I've got like heaters aimed at me, and yeah, I need to start wearing what I call my long socks. I wear the little ankle socks all the time, and then in the winter, I switched to my longer socks that like cover my ankles because my ankles get cold. And I need to switch my socks over because my ankles are cold. Because yeah, I wear socks and slippers and sweaters and heaters and all the things because I'm in a garage and it's wintertime here in Saskatchewan and all the heaters, all the things so that I don't freeze. I have over 3,000 videos at this point. Yep, I believe it. There's a lot. So yeah. Anywho, I will be back with more videos. Got more ideas. So many ideas. I have more ideas than I have time, honestly. But yeah, I got more holiday videos coming. Non-holiday. We're gonna start getting into the like Valentine-y type releases, you know, which I love doing Valentine cards. Disclaimer. Because usually, and I was gonna do up graphics. I don't know if I'm gonna do a dedicated like Valentine series like I always have done. Um, the vast majority of my Valentine cards apply to kind of anyone. You know, it's like these are cards I would send to a friend. I would send to just anyone. It just, you know, it's like love you, thinking of you, like that sort of thing. It's not just like happy Valentine's Day to my, you know, husband, my partner, my person, that sort of thing. It's like tell people you love them, you know, make them a card just cuz. It can be Valentine themed or whatever. You know, it's nice, people. It's nice. It's nice to get something in the mail that isn't a bill or flyers or garbage, you know? Um, do something wool sock. Oh yeah, I have leg warmers too. I'm gonna be pulling those out. I like wearing. I have a collection. I have a collection of leg warmers. You know, in all types. Some are actual socks and some are just the leg warmers. And I need to pull those out and start wearing those too because I wear just like leggings most of the time because lazy, man. I don't dress fancy. And then yeah, socks, leg warmers to cover my ankles and part of my legs just to keep me warm. And yeah, I've got ways. I've got ways. Fuzzy socks. I got my little black fuzzy slippers. Um, I don't know if Kathy Zielski ordered them. I was going to order them, but they were sold out. Her and I were going on about the Twilight themed Crocs. They're so hideous. I don't know if she managed to get a pair of them, but both of us were going to get pairs of them because we're ridiculous and like beyond ridiculous. And I was like, do it. And I'm the worst. I'm the worst. I was like, do it, get them. She's like, I've never owned Crocs. I'm like, you need these. And then I tried to order a pair and they were completely sold out. And they're ugly. They're ugly. Crocs are ugly. Let's be honest. I have fuzzy Crocs that I also have on standby. These slippers are Crocs as well. But yeah, I was like, they're the most comfortable things on the planet. They're comfortable. They're the ugliest shoes. They're Crocs, but the Twilight themed ones I wanted so bad. I really wanted them, and yeah, they were sold out like completely. And I'm like, man. And Chris just shakes his head at me with my little Twilight obsession. Don't care. It's fun. It's fun. Anyway, I haven't seen leg warmer since the 80s. I have pink fuzzy leg warmers that go with a pair of pink platform Uggs. And I wear those in public. I wore them last week because I had to leave my house. And I wore them with my little black leggings and my pink fuzzy leg warmers and my pink Uggs. And my friend, when I met up with her, she just laughed. And I'm like, I told you I got them. I love them. I love them. They're absolutely ridiculous. And I love them. Um, Ugly. Oh yeah, I'll show you guys my because I keep them in here, but I'll show you guys my fuzzy Crocs. Love them. Give me a sec. ugly as sin. The color's pretty. I like the purple. But yeah, they're hideous, but they're so comfortable. And they got the fuzzies, so they're extra warm. And that's what I wear when I'm in here, because I have to, because otherwise my feet would literally freeze. I'm in a garage, the floor is cement, I have little carpet tiles on here, but the cold radiates from the ground. It's cold, it's winter. So, yeah, they're super comfortable. They're comfortable. I've been wearing Crocs for years. And it makes me laugh that they've like become popular niche whatever. And they're doing all these like crossovers and theme ones and branded ones. And I'm just like, whatever, man. And then they came out with the Twilight ones. And I was like, want to add to cart. And I couldn't because they were sold out. And I'm just like, it's nice to know that there's a bunch of other crazy people out there that are just as unhinged as I am, you know? So we're supposed to, oh yeah. Yep. Doody-doo. They are ugly. Crocs are just, they're hideous. They're hideous, but they're comfortable. They're so comfortable. I used to have a pair. I wore them out. I used to have a pair of just basic Crocs. And they were my outdoor shoes because you could just hose them off with the garden hose, you know? And I would use them for gardening, all the things, because, yeah, hose them off with the hose, let them dry, go on about my day, you know? And then I used to have way back, like 15 years ago, my first pair of like fuzzy lined Crocs, and I'd wear them all winter. I remember having people that were just like, what on earth is wrong with you? And I was like, they're comfortable and they keep my feet warm. I don't care. I don't care. Oh my goodness. Pokemon Crocs, of course. Yeah, they've got all of them. Monster Crocs that are brown in hair. Yeah. Anything you can imagine now, you can get them. You know, and all the little gibbets, I think that's what the name is, of the little like accessories you can like adorn your Crocs with, which again, I've always considered those to be beyond stupid. Because I'm just like, why? And then they did the Twilight ones and they've got all the little accessories. And I was like, I want all of them. But yeah, they sold out. So I'm not going to pay more than retail because I'm not that insane. It's funny. Anyway, they're fun. They're fun. They're stupid. I love it. I would show you guys my pink fuzzy, Uggs, but they're in the closet because I keep them so they don't get like wrecked or anything. Because those were a splurge. Those were a birthday present. Thank you, Twilight. Thank you. All the more for ugly Crocs. I'm here for it. Do. Only time not to wear Crocs is when you go kayaking. Did that once look at and they floated off. Yeah. You would need to do, if you were wearing Crocs, doing like water sports, kayaking, or like on a boat, anything like that, you would need to do with those like you do with people at paddleboard and stuff. They have the little harness thingy that attaches with the wire, whatever. You know what I mean? That it's usually attached to an ankle so that if you fall, it stays with you and doesn't go off. You would need to do that with the Crocs. Just tie it. Like if you're going to do water things, tie a string or something like around this part and then have it attached, like maybe with Velcro or something to your ankle. I would do that so I wouldn't lose them. Yeah. So you don't lose them, Follow me for more Croc advice. Somethings. Whatever. So funny. My granddaughters love those on their Crocs. Oh yeah, for kids and stuff, like the gibbets. And they have so many now. When they first came out with them, I just thought they were stupid. And then, things have come across my feed, different themes, different styles. And I'm like, darn it, I'm probably going to end up being one of those people that's not only going to have my fuzzy Crocs, but if I find some cute little gibbets, I'll attach. I'm not above it, you know? So you can order custom gibbets. Stop it. I don't need to know that. I just need to get a bunch of like Twilight themed ones because I'll probably never get the actual Twilight themed Crocs because, like I said, they're sold out. But I'll get all the gibbets and attach them like Team Edward, Team Jacob. They were so ridiculous and I love it. I love it. It's so dumb. An ankle leash, yeah. We need ankle leashes for our Crocs. Not that I do water sports. Y'all, no. I can barely like function. Like I said, I'm klutzy. The thought of like, I like the idea of doing something like paddle boarding, kayaking, all of that. I like the idea in theory. Me actually doing that, I don't know if I ever could do it. Because, yeah. I used to be a very, very good swimmer. I still am in theory. But yeah, I haven't done any of that kind of stuff in many, many years. So yeah. Doodly doo. Okay. 200. Ooh. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the resale. The Twilight Crocs were nowhere near that much, but I bet they're going for stupid prices now. I stay away from the resale market. There is nothing that appeals to me. Like, I might be a total twihard, because I am. Love them. Love the books. Love the movies. All the things. But I stay away from the resale market. I'm not that desperate to pay ridiculous prices for things. And even some of the, like, retail on some items, I'm just like, you know, I'll usually add something like that to, like, a Christmas list and give it to the unpaid intern. I'll be like, if you get this for me, you know, as a gift, I will love it. I won't buy it for myself because sometimes it's silly. Anyway, follow Amy for Crocs advice. Yeah. Where's the with love sentiment from? It's linked in the supplies. It's from Waffle Flower. It is linked in the description box. I think I linked it. I should have. If I didn't, I'll add it. I did forget. I will add that. I will set this die right in front of me. I knew there was something I was forgetting. Okay. When I edit the links, I'll add the link to this because I forgot. On that note, I'm super professional. Okay. So I'm going to edit my links. I'll edit the supplies to add that and the Gansai Tommy, and I'll remove the few things I didn't use. And then, yeah, I will add that, do all my things. I enjoyed talking with you guys. It's fun. I like our random chats. We need to do this more often. It is my plan to do just some like chill lives where I'm just doing random whatevers and I can just talk with you guys. I do that for like some of my Patreon members and stuff. And that's been fun. So we'll be doing more. We'll figure it out. But I gotta go. I also need to deal with life. Photos, edit links, social medias, all the things. There will be more stuff coming. And watch out. Amy recorded her first beauty influencer video. Now Croc advice. What's next? You never know. I am crazy. So I could go in any direction. But it is going to be mostly card making. Really. That's what I love. But I mean, yeah. Crocs, man. They're awesome. Okay. I will. Yeah. I need more sleep too. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you all very soon in the next video. There we go. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!